it for another deal. That's how deals keep flowing. Otherwise, it's one here and then one there. You got to leverage it. So they're going to go over some of those tools as well. So pay attention to this and then implement some of the things that they're talking about. There's so many opportunities out there. This class could not come at a better time because of the opportunities out there and the number of listings that are out there. So take advantage of what's going to be said here today, right? Take advantage of the opportunities. There's so much out there. We keep providing more and more. The more you engage, the more chances you have. So that's my soapbox. All right, Eddie, Autumn, I'm going to mute myself. Get the hell out of your way.
All right. You guys hear me okay?
Oh, there we are.
Yes.
Hi, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Oh, yeah, you guys can see the hands
It's like there's a
up and yeah, it looks like there's we got a concert going on here. Anyway.
Don't have a personality stuff.
All right, so I am going to, first, I'm actually gonna just talk a little bit, but I am gonna present my screen. Share.
Cool. I like Zoom.
All right.
AC, I like this AC right here.
Okay.
Ready? Want to ask you something since
There's 40 people
All right.
online, you just walked in.
Yeah. Everyone's it's Steve.
how you doing?
Need help?
Yeah, you might know.
I probably do. There's a good chance.
All right. All right. So as you guys know, we are partnered with All Cal Title. It is an ancillary service of ours. And, you know, we've been talking about it for a while now. Autumn's been our account executive for 3 months.
Probably since April,
Okay.
kind of put it.
So it's one of those where it's like, I've had people ask me questions. Well, tell me more about it. I don't know enough. I have a relationship with a title person, or I just, you know, like, where does it help me? And I think when I started going through and I started looking at how it can help my business, whether it's from a farming standpoint or just a lot of the stuff that I talk about, I was like, there's some helpful stuff here. So I thought it would be a good idea to kind of get in front of all of you guys and talk about All Cal Title. And so we're going to be talking about who is All Cal Title. I think that's the biggest question is like, okay, great. They're an ancillary service of ours. Who are they? I wanted to talk about the benefits. Like, how does this impact you? I mean, let's face it, we're all 1099 employees. We are, you know, independent business owners. If it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense, right? So I'm going to show you guys the benefits and how it can help you. And I'll show you guys some very specific examples. We'll talk about the mobile app and what you can do on the mobile app. We'll talk about the toolbox, which is one of their websites. And then we're going to talk about the level of support that you guys are going to get. So to kick it off, because I don't know as much about who is All Cal Title as Autumn does, Autumn, take it away.
Hi, guys. So it's been a gift working with you all, and I look forward to earning your business and trust, of course. So All Cal Title has been around for 13 years. We are located more in the LA area. I am the first rep out here. So it's been awesome trying to grow the company this way, but it's been around for some time, 13 years, and Ani took over 8 years ago to be exact. They have an office in Bakersfield and in LA, in the heart of LA, and off Wilshire. So it's been around for some time. Bobby has been in the industry for a little over 15 years, and he's been our title officer. He's a wealth of knowledge. And basically what we're trying to do is grow the company and earn the business. We really value the home type feel that we have with the company. It is backed by a large underwriting title, which is North American, which is also called DOMA, if you're familiar. I know that's often been a question. And then also, I think the main thing is there's never, what I've found personally that's been great about working with All Cal Title is there's never a hard no. Working with Ani and Bobby, it's always been, we find a solution. So with each transaction and file, I found if something becomes an issue or there's a problem, it's never a hard no. You can actually pick up the phone, call Bobby, the title officer. I'll share that with you guys, his cell phone number. It's crazy. He picks it up, actually. He's a single dad. I just respect him and I think he's in it for the right reasons. And yeah, I think the main thing is it's more of a home type of feeling. And I want to call it like a boutique style title, but I don't know if that sounds unprofessional, but you get that feeling when you're able to pick up the phone and call Ani, the owner, or Bobby, the title officer. I'm not sure if you guys have that relationship with, Fidelities or the Ticors or the Stewarts. I'm not sure if that happens, but I've really found that is a valuable tool with working and being a part of All Cal Title.
Cool. And I think that rolls us right into our benefits because that is a benefit to be able to, I don't want to say bend the rules, but if there's a situation where it's like, well, senior discount, not quite a senior, it might be a year away. Hey, birthday's coming up. Let's just roll with it. Now let's find the exception. And I think we're all used to being able to make exceptions at every level.
Sure.
So that is nice. So as far as the benefits, obviously supporting your brokerage's ancillary services is a plus. Better support for your clients by keeping everything in house. I can go to my broker if the loan's not going the way it should. I can go to my broker if the escrow is not going the way it should. Well, same thing here. And we know the owner of the company.
Yes.
The owner of the company. I have her cell phone number in my phone book. I can text her something right now. Deep discounts for military, veterans, and seniors. That's a huge win. Now we'll talk about 20%. Sorry about that little typo there. Improving your farming strategies. I'm going to go over that, but this will help you because some people think farming is farming and not when there's data behind it. And I'll show you guys what I mean. Data at your fingertips. There are a lot of mobile apps out there. This one makes a lot of little things easy. So if it's one that you start getting used to using, it really does make pulling things up so much easier. Kind of like having the CRMLS mobile app, but you get a little bit more information on there and it looks better. So I'll show you guys a little bit more about that as well. Improve your buyer and seller presentation. That's something that I've been kind of harping on about while some have custom made presentations. One of the biggest things that sets our presentations apart from most other people's is the seller's net. Well, we have the buyer closing cost estimate as well. And those are all ones you can just pull up on their website. And I'm going to show you guys that. So pull the data yourself. A lot of times, if you want a farm, you've got to go and ask your title rep, wait for them to show up, wait for them to respond to an email. Well, what if you just pull it yourself? What if I just wanted to pull data on my own and it's just addresses, so those are free. What if I just wanted to pull that and then I wanted to, and if I wanted phone numbers, it's just a 12 cents per phone number and then I just order it myself. Don't need to call anybody. And then order additional market data if needed, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about there. So first things first is the mobile app. I want everybody to pull out their phone, go to their app store, go to the Google Play Store, go to the and download Smart Direct. It's got to have a logo with a little arrow going through it, just like what's on your screen.
Little Red House.
Right, quick race. Who gets it first? Put in the chat box if you got it first. Go. Who got it first? Who downloaded it?
Someone on gigabit Ethernet speeds is gonna
Go. Let me know who's gonna win.
Oh,
Oh, Tiffany's got it. Well,
Good
Who
job.
won?
Tiffany's got it. I don't know if anybody
Boom,
else.
Tiffany, let me know what book you want.
Ooh, there you go.
Hey,
Ooh, will do.
All right, so when you go in, you're going to enter a referral code. It's ACT, ACT, like all Cal title, 1111. ACT 1111 is your referral code. Okay, here are some of the really cool app features, and I was looking at, I think there's a way that I can get a little dongle, put it on my phone. I'd have to join the Zoom on my phone and screen share, but I was like, okay, how about they'll see it. It's actually really, really easy. You can pull up property details. You see the last 20 transactions for any given property. A PITI calculator, if someone's like, hey, there's this house that I was looking at, you can pull it up right there and calculate principal, interest, tax, and insurance right on the calculator. Not to mention, it's a good mortgage calculator for you to use on a day-to-day basis. How many of us have third-party mortgage calculator apps on our phone anyway? So you can use this one and it goes specific to the address. So you don't have to put a supposed figures. You can go right now off of a rough estimate on what this house is worth, the current tax rate, all that information is on the property detail. So you're pulling a PITI calculation that's really accurate. You can find comparable sales. You literally just type in an address and you can pull everything. And just so you guys know, there is some limitation on what you guys see right away when you register. And this is especially true on the toolkit that I'm going to go into on their website. It will have to go to Autumn saying, hey, this is a new user. Once she registers you, then you get full access to everything I'm going to see. So for the mobile site, you'll get all access right away. But on the website, it is a little bit limited on like ordering farm details and whatnot. So just FYI.
Yeah.
On the property profile, you can order a prelim straight from the app. Super easy, no emails, no phone calls, no text messages, just order a prelim right on the app. And again, I'm saying you're going to have this app because of all the extra information that you can get from a farming standpoint. So anybody that door knocks should have this app on their phone. I mean, you have, chicken wings from, Buffalo Wild Wings. You have that app on your phone. You should absolutely have this app on your phone. And I say that because I have Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm ashamed to admit it. Anyway, right. No, that's why. But it really does have a ton of information on there. What the loan amount was, it's basically like going into Realist Tax, but you just type in the address and you just have it there on that with all the other tools, which is nice. So for farming, you can create a farm based on a specific subject property and then apply filters as needed. So if you find a house that maybe you put an offer in for your buyer and your offer did not get accepted, well, you can pick that subject house, find others in the area that fit the bill, and then go become a market maker. Start approaching those families going, I have a buyer that is ready to buy your home. Would you like to list and sell? Now you created yourself a listing. You've already got the buyer lined up. And now that person that's selling their home, is also going to need a buyer's agent.
Totally. It's great.
So, and you can save the farms so you can revisit later. For example, I know downsizing is something I always talk about, right? So a downsizing farm is always a good one that you can revisit. So you can save those, on the app. Any questions on anything I've said so far?
For you guys, make sure they're able to log in.
You can name the farm, right?
Yes, you name the farm and so yes, if it's a downsizing farm, I'm gonna put downsizing 2024,
Jesse, what's the code again, please?
ACT 1111.
Got it. Thank you.
No worries. I don't know if Jesse's paying attention, so I answered.
That's one thing.
So all Cal title ACT 1111. And if any questions come up, don't call me, call Autumn.
Just call me.
Just kidding. Just kidding. I can walk you guys through stuff too. So here is their title toolbox. So this I think is phenomenal. I logged in, I got my setup, and again, I had to get registered. But this is where I think the magic happens. It is really neat and convenient because you could be driving, come across an address, punch it into the app, get all the information you need, who owns it, you know, who bought it before that, is it in a trust, whatever. But this I personally find helpful because it has a lot of really cool extra level support. So on the All-Cal Title Toolkit, I did a QR code, and I understand that from a cell phone standpoint, you probably don't, you know, it doesn't do you any good, but save the website. It's allcaltitletools.com. Make sure you register. It has a lot of the same farming features as the app, but more. You can order farming data for free or pay to get additional data. And that's where I was saying about the phone numbers versus just the email or just the addresses. You can create a net sheet very easily. I'm about to show you guys. You can create a buyer's cost estimate based on that specific address, like I said. And then there's some enhanced farming stats that will help steer you in the right direction. So let me show you guys what I mean. So I'm logged in to my All-Cal Title. And here's what's really cool. And give me 1 second here. And actually, I'll open it up. If anybody has an address they would like me to look up to get some information, feel free to just unmute yourself and say it.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Got someone here in the audience,
3572 Trumpet Vine Lane.
Trumpet Vine Lane in Marietta.
Yes,
Is it this one, 30572?
yes.
Okay. So you can generate a report. Nancy Rios. I can do a quick check profile with comps. I can generate any one of these. Obviously, this one has a $5 fee associated, but if I just wanted to see more detailed information, I can just view this here. Single family. Owner, location, tax, and all of this is available on the app as well. Again, up to 20 transactions. Finance information, so you can get a rough idea of, okay, well, if it's, 15 years ago and this was the mortgage, they may or may not be right around, the halfway or, point, assuming they didn't do any cash out refi, stuff like that. Foreclosure information. And so it's really, really easy, but here's what's more important. If I'm about to go on a listing presentation and I'm creating a seller presentation, I can just click on NetSheet and everything's in here filled out.
So great.
The estimated sales price, which I can obviously edit. The loan amount, which, she told me she only owes $150, so I can change that. Closing costs, other costs, brokerage fee, that's the seller. It's really, really close. I actually compared and I actually had escrow take a look at it and say, hey, are the fees that are in here really accurate? And she said, absolutely. They're over by about $100 to $150, which I said it's better to be over and give yourself a little cushion than to be a little under. So these costs are really, really accurate from an escrow standpoint. So you can feel comfortable just right here. Here's my seller net. Not emailing my escrow officer, hoping she sees it and isn't on lunch and then gets it back. I might need to see them right away. I might need one right away. It might be a Saturday. It might be a Sunday, right? So this is a really easy way. Now you're dealing with a buyer. Well, same thing, especially now with the BRBC. How cool is it going to be that you go in with a buyer presentation? And again, shameless plug. Next week, we're going to be going over that in our monthly meetings. I'm going to show you guys the presentation. I'm going to show you guys the scripts. And oh, by the way, there is a buyer net sheet on the presentation. Now, if I'm going up against another agent that just shows up with the BRBC going, trust me, I've been doing this for a long time, just sign here, I might have an advantage on them. So this will absolutely help, and you can just go to buyer. You can put in new loan amounts, whatever you want, and all the prepaids are already in there. Makes it really, really easy. They even have refinance and net to sell. So what's the goal? Seller needs to make this much. Well, this is what needs to happen. It needs to sell for this much. I mean, I don't know when, I would use that, but I mean, the fact that, these are options that are in here that are super easy to pull. So that's where it helps you from a farming standpoint. You can actually create a farm based on a radius. You can search an entire area and you can click whatever you want. What was that address? One more time?
30572 Trumpet Vine Lane.
Okay. And so now I've got I can put the pin right there where it is, and then I can change it to a mile, to whatever. I can then go in and add filters. I only want to see non-owner occupied. I only want to see whatever. You can go into add filters and put in different characteristics. I want this bedroom. This is exactly what I'm looking for. And you can pull this and get the count yourself. You've got it in Excel and you've got all the addresses. If you want to send out flyers, door knock, you're doing it yourself. You're not picking up the phone. You're just literally just typing in what you need. Now, here's where it gets really good. You can look up stats. Has anybody ever farmed or door knocked and felt a little frustrated because everyone was not paying attention, slamming the door in your face? Nobody was coming to the door. Well, part of it is getting some data, and it gets really, really granular. So I'm actually going to do a very similar one more time. 3.
Address.
There it is. Oh, wait, 005, or sorry, where are you?
30.
30572 Trumpet Vine Lane.
I don't know why it's not saving it. Trumpet Vine Lane, Marietta. Okay. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to get count. Yeah, it's thinking. Okay, so 2 records retrieved. I probably want to go and expand that. So here's. Couple in Temecula, and it was a bunch of areas. I went with a much bigger radius. Well, there were some that were upwards of 9%. So if I'm looking at this block over here or this block over there, this one has a 4%, this one has a 9% turnover. Which one is a better idea to go door knocking? And they're literally within like a quarter of a mile from each other. So this will help you look, okay, so even from here, let's look at this just because I've got it pulled up here. You've got double the amount of sales, which is only 2 out here. But yeah, I would probably not leave this area alone. I'd probably go elsewhere. So I just saved myself what? A week's worth of effort
Yeah.
because nobody's selling here. Now,
Yeah.
another really cool stat, non-owner occupied.
Yep.
If I'm looking, let's say I have a really good flyer for getting people out of renting. Well, don't I want to go in there and go to a very high non-owner occupied area, knowing that I'm most likely going to run into a tenant?
Yes.
Absolutely. There were some that were upwards of like 27%.
Hmm.
Hell yeah, that's the area I'm gonna farm if I'm looking to get people out of renting and into buying. I think we have a question on the is that or someone's just not muted?
Hey, Eddie, can I add something?
Absolutely.
So on that non-owner occupied thing, a little tip for everyone as well, just to know that number. When you're going on a listing presentation, if you can find out the non-owner occupied rate, if that rate is in that area 20-30% or higher, which in some of our areas is, you can customize your listing presentation to the seller to say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I don't know if you know this, but 30% of the people that own a home in here don't live here. They're from somewhere else. So in order to market your property the best, we can't just market it locally. We have to market it nationally and probably internationally as well. And luckily for you, here's what I'm going to do to market locally. And you talk about what you're going to do. Here's what the MLS is going to do to market nationally. And then Century 21 has 14,000 offices across 83 countries to market your listing internationally. So not only do we get local buyers, but we get all the investor buyers that are purchasing this area as well. So
like it.
if you know that non-owner occupied stat, no other agent's going to have that conversation to show that value proposition. It's another way for you to potentially get ahead of the game on the listing.
That's very smart. I like that. That's a big thinking, big brain. Okay, so
That's the first time I've ever been accused of that.
so
Megamind.
here we go. This is more.
Megamind.
Oh, this is really.
Yeah, this is more or less what I was looking at yesterday, and I pulled up an address in Temecula. So look at all of these groups, right? And you'll go, how many homes are in this group? 22, 25. Obviously, if you see one that has 6, small sample size, but let's look at the turnover. If I'm looking, let's look at how low, and this is just in this Temecula area, which is a 2-mile radius, so it's pretty big. But if you look at turnover, we have from 0.9, which is nobody's moving, 1 point something, 1 point whatever, to a high of 16% turnover.
That's where we're seeing it.
And so I'm going here on these 22 homes. So you can go straight to this group. And oh, by the way, there's a 27.27% of non-owner occupied rate on there. Almost a third of the houses. So every third house is going to have a tenant in it. Look at this. 48.48%. Every other house has a tenant in it. If I've got a really good
Dang.
program for first-time home
That's
buyers,
great.
where am I going?
Right there.
Right there.
Right there. Right there.
So it makes your.
And the turnover is 9%, which is good. So even from a non-owner occupied, with turnover still being almost 10%, I'm going to call the owner as well. Hey, a bunch of your neighbors are selling their investment properties. You want to jump on? Probably because of how much those houses have gone up. Anyway, this is huge. This data is super, super helpful whenever you're just trying to pinpoint where should I go. And I mean, literally, it's free. We just log in, and all the information's right here. I can export this. The only thing, if I want phone numbers, if I want email addresses, I pay 12 cents per. But well, and I mean, I think if maybe you buy somebody lunch, they might give you a little discount. I don't know. But anyway, but the point is if I just want flyers, I pull it myself, no charge, don't bother anybody, pull it myself. I'm done in 5 minutes. Make sense?
It does.
Yes.
All right. What else?
I'm sorry. Can I add one more?
No, please, because we're almost done here. So
here's my fear of what he just went over, which is phenomenal. They just went over is those turnover rates in farms. Is some of you are going to be like, well, now everyone's going to go to that one farm area that's got that 6% turnover rate.
Exactly.
This is year 20 for me. And I know some of you are in longer, but year 20 for me. Here's what I know. That's not going to happen.
right.
Okay. It's not going to happen. And here's why. because, and I'm not picking on anyone, I'm just going through the boxes on my screen. Miguel's going to say, well, I'm not going to do it because Leslie's going to do it. And Leslie's not
will.
going to do it because she's going to say, well, Marco's going to do it. And Marco's not going to do it because Jackie's going to do it. And then nobody does it. So
I'm doing
don't-
it.
Yeah. There you go.
Hey.
All
Hey,
right.
Robert.
So
Hey, Robert, is that grinding?
that's grinding, baby. So don't look at those stats and think that everybody is now going to jump on these really hot markets. So I'm not going to do it. I promise you that won't be the case. All right. So find your marketplace, go be that agent. And even if other people are doing it, just be better.
Right. You better.
Just be better and problem solve. So that's my 2 cents. Okay, I'll
Well,
stop.
and I'm gonna
I love
add
it.
sense 3 and 4 on there, because what did Matthew Ferry say about that? You're about having that negative mentality of well, not only did somebody else do this, they actually ruined it for me. They did such a bad job at door knocking. Now people don't want to talk to me. Okay, can you move past that? Can you forgive that agent to for doing that and say, you know what, all the more reason now the bar is really low. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to surprise them. And then to his first point, you ask every top producing agent, do you mind sharing your secret sauce? They say, absolutely not, because I know you're not going to do it. So I don't care if I tell you every one of my secrets, you're not going to do it. And if you do it, by the time you get your butt in gear and implement it and plan it and strategically, well, whatever, I'm already on to the next thing. So trust me, just do it. So you're absolutely right. Last thing I wanted to talk about was support, because the last thing I want to know is that everything's online. I only have a website. I don't have any kind of support because I'm used to having support with my local AE or people that are behind the scenes when things go wrong or when things are kind of weird. So talk to us about that,
Or when they're great.
or when they're great.
So with the support, I definitely want to share Bobby, our title officer's information. So obviously you have his email. I will give you his cell phone. Do you want me to verbally say
Yeah,
that?
absolutely.
Okay, so let me get that for you.
Yeah, it wasn't on the website, so I didn't.
So, you guys get this number, get your phones out if you will, or just write it down. Okay, so Bobby's personal cell phone number is 1-626-376-0911. And so I
Thank
just
you.
wanted to, I'm sorry?
So
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I wanted to share a little bit of a win. We had one of your agents from Hemet call us. I think it was like on a Friday, Bobby and I. It was after hours, like 6:30, 7:00. It was a couple weeks ago. He was in dire need of some support. There was a file, one of his transactions with a different title company, and they dropped the ball and he was panicking, and Bobby picked up the phone and handled it and got him the support that he needed. Although once we took that information and gave it to the title company that he was still working with, they ended up making the exception. So the file did end up staying with the old title company, but all in all, I just wanted to share that part of the support that you get. I mean, he did pick up his phone. It was like 7:15 on a Friday after hours on his cell phone, and Vincent was really happy. So it was definitely a win for us, although we didn't get that file. It was a great story. So, and then you have mine. I'll give you my personal cell phone as well. So if you don't already have it, let me add that to the support. If you want to write that down, 951-303-5710. So if for some reason you can't reach me on my work phone, you have my personal phone now. And like I said, from the very beginning, and the benefits of working with All Cal Title is not only is it, do you have solid tools now that you guys can work with, but you also have some really good relationships and people that want to earn your business. So with that being said, I look forward to working with you guys on a personal level and, obviously, and help make your transactions really smooth.
So I have a question on,
Yeah.
so once we have our farm and we're able to download it, is it downloadable in the CSV file? Is that what it is?
So I have it. It comes out in Excel, which you can convert to CSV if you needed to. But it does come out in Excel. So I did have one where I was like ready to pull it out.
And then, can we get some labels printed out too, or is that something that you guys can supply or?
Usually the brokerage we can work on that. We can talk to the brokerage and see if we can do that for you.
Okay, super.
And then as far as the farming as well, if there's an area or criteria that you're looking for in specific, that you're not having, you're not able to get online and doing it yourself. Bobby is also really great at helping you guys with that. So if you need phone numbers and you're stuck with something, the criteria, just give us a call or email and we can most likely be to help you with that.
Autumn,
Yes,
what is your area code?
951.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yes. I also met with another agent yesterday, one-on-one. That's kind of like my jam. I really love connecting
Ooh.
with you guys.
Like
So
that.
if that's something that you're interested in and you want me to sit down with you, and go over whatever it might be, I sat with her for a little over an hour and it was just great. So we got to talk about fitness and all the things that we like together and then also worked with business and I helped her with some things and vice versa. She helped me. So if that's something that you'd like to do and connect with me, that's really what I enjoy. So you can always reach out.
Question.
Counter do all the counties too, like
I got you, Michael. Hang on one second.
San Diego, Orange County too?
We do. Yep.
Service.
So all Cal Title, yes, to answer your question, but we're all of California.
Oh, good.
Yes.
It's in the name, right?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes, I got a question. When we get a listing, if we need a flyer or postcard for that listing, we go to our concierge and Century 21 Masters, or we can do it through you guys too?
So that's through the brokerage. Legally with title, we are not able to supply any type of materials for you guys. We're really regulated, but we can help you with the data.
Okay.
So they can get you the list, Michael, of, if you want 200 names of homeowners around your listing, they can get you that list. And then our marketing team, to answer your question, can put together all the flyers or postcards or
Yeah.
whatever you want.
Thank you, Robert. Yes. Anybody else?
I'm-
I have a question. I wasn't able to find the app.
Yep, you go to the App Store and type in Smart Direct.
Oh, Direct, okay.
I believe it's one word, Smart Direct, but if you did two, I think it'll still pull up. It's a little red house with an arrow going through it.
So
Just-
I'm sorry, just want to clarify. The
Yes.
app and the website are basically the same thing, correct? Or-
Yes, except that the seller net estimate and the closing cost estimate, and ordering more, I didn't try ordering on the app. I think it's a bit more robust on the website. And so if I'm putting together a listing presentation, I'm not doing it on my cell phone. I'm doing it on my computer. So that's why I like the website, but they do a lot of the same things.
Okay, and one more time, Autumn, can you please give me your phone number?
Yes, it's 951-303-5710.
5710. Thank you.
That's
Can you-
another thing really quick, and I'll finish up with that. When I sat with the agent, we actually put all the numbers into the net sheet, to the seller net sheet. And it was really cool because she didn't know that she could do that. She thought she always had to reach out to escrow. So she's like, oh my gosh, I'll tell my friend. And so it's a possible, it's a lead for her and to present to the seller. So she's excited. So there's a lot of cool things. And it was a good day.
They asked about the website on the chat, www.allcaltitletools.com. You want to register, put in your information. It's going to go straight to Autumn where she's going to do fingerprints, background check. I'm just kidding. No, she's just,
You're like, oh no.
she just gets
But
it.
don't worry. She won't do drug testing, so you're fine.
Is there a referral code?
Yes, the referral code is
111.
ACT, all Cal title, ACT 1111.
Can you repeat that one?
ACT 1111.
And I put this in the chat box, but if any of you need scripts for any of the things that you're gonna do with these lists, condos, two-story homes, neighborhood prospect, and anything along those lines, let me know. I'm sure we have one for whatever you're trying to accomplish. And if we don't, I'm sure we can put one together. Just let me know what you need.
There you go. All right. Cool. Teamwork. All right. Any other questions before we cut it loose?
Okay.
It's
All
great.
right. Thanks, guys. If
Great.
there's any questions, feel free to reach out.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Autumn.